Hello, everybody. Welcome to my very wonderful channel. I am just successful. I'm the biggest success that has ever been on the planet. I'm here to succeed the game. I'm here to become the biggest financial success that has ever been on the planet. Well, you are welcome to subscribe to my channel and do me that sort of little tiny favor. Follow the link below, and you're welcome to follow me on Instagram. Now, for very first, you need to understand the situation you are in is a creation of your own. You need to understand if you live in a very mess up, dirty apartment, it is your own creation. Nobody created that sort of situation. If you want to make a change in this world, you need to start within yourself. You need to start within your apartment. So I tell you right now, do me that sort of a little tiny favor. If you really want to make a change right now, immediately, I mean instantly, do me that sort of little tiny favor. Go straight to the bathroom and watch your reflection in the mirror and point the finger and see yourself, watch yourself, and talk to the guy in the mirror and say, you are in charge of your apartment. You are in charge of your mess up, dirty apartment. If you want to become a millionaire, I'm telling you, you can't. It is impossible to live in a mess up, dirty apartment. You need personal development. That is the goal. That is the goal to success. If you do not develop at all, I tell you, you're gonna stay where you are. You're gonna stay exactly who you are. A lazy, fat, ugly looking guy in front of a TV. That simple. Do me that sort of little tiny favor. Additionally, if you really want to make a change in your life, do me that sort of little tiny favor. Additionally, subscribe to my channel immediately. Do me that sort of little tiny favor and subscribe to my channel immediately. What I want you to do is something. You can't change your life immediately, that you're gonna see a result within 2 weeks. It's not gonna happen. But what I promise you, you're gonna see a result. The goal, the game, after 3 months, backslash after 90 days. Do me that sort of a little tiny favor. Additionally, if you really want to make a change in your life, you need to have a calendar. I mean, a calendar, not something like your iPhone or whatever. I mean, a paper calendar. Why? Because every time you do something, you need to text it down, you need to put it on paper, and guess what? After 9 months, sorry, after 3 months, you are able to double check what was written on paper in your calendar. Now, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Well, you need to understand, my life was very, very, very difficult, very, very cruel. I used to have a very, very cruel mother, and I wanna join. I wanna join my biography with my audience. I wrote a book, and what I say is the blank truth. I'm gonna start right now to read a chapter out of my book. They used to beat me up ever since I was a little tiny child with a belt, age approximately 4 years old. My parents let me stand naked in a corner for several hours naked. They let me sleep with a sheer plastic bag as my cover in a bathtub naked. They let me lick the floor of the apartment with my tongue naked. They let me stand on one foot for several hours naked. My father burned my penis with a cigarette. My mother let me eat raw meat. She used to beat my naked body with a wooden hairbrush. She took my head to smash it several times against a wall in our apartment. She used to kick me as a child like a little football through the entrance hall of the apartment. One day the door smashed wide open and in walked my mother to grab her son, aged 6 years old, to pull me into the kitchen. She started to light the gas stove and began to burn a part of my hand. She let me eat a bucket full of honey. Of course, I vomited, and since that day, unable to enjoy honey. I decided to run away from them at the age of 7. I started to knock on other foreign people doors and told them a story just to get shelter. Later, they put me into a foster home where another nightmare started. The nightmare of other kind of problems, but that is another story. Well, everybody, that is sorry for my language. I really apologize for my language. That is a fucking true story. That is my biography. And no matter where you start, no matter who you are, I'm right now on a level of a millionaire, and I want to become a billionaire, net worth $900 million. You feeling me? Now, no matter where you start, it doesn't matter actually at all. As long you keep running, as long you believe in something, as long you believe in your power, in your greater power, as what you really are, you are born to be something greater as the universe. But you need to understand, it's not all about money. Money is, I tell you, money is really, really important. I'm telling you that. But if you do not have something like a spiritual clean soul from the inside, you're not gonna make it. I'm telling you that. If you run towards something like, I don't know, for example, an uneducated Russian pinup girl, for example, I'm telling you, you're going through hell. I remember when I was like, I'm in my mid 30s right now. I remember back in those days when I was like 20, so I did a lot of mistakes, so I was with a stripper, a female stripper, so I thought like she's my girlfriend. But I tell you, meanwhile I know better, growing older, and you need to understand something. As the world you are living in is a big seduction game. It is a big, big seduction game. So you need to understand something. What you need basically for a living is shelter, food, and your health and friends. That is basically all you need to survive on this planet. You do not need necessarily, sorry, I talk if you are normal income for, sorry, please. If you normal income, why do you want to project the image of being wealthy? Why do you spend your money, your income on, I don't know, for example, those stupid expensive brands, for example? But I know few millionaires who are, I don't know what. You need to understand something. If you are a millionaire, for example, we take the president as a guide example. He inherited $10 million. Mr. Donald Trump, he inherited $10 million. If you start up here, so it's a complete different game. It is a complete different life. It is a complete different situation. Your life is completely different then. I'm telling you that, so. But if you are normal income and you want to project the image of being wealthy just to impress your enemies, so I'm telling you something, you're not gonna become a millionaire or a billionaire. I promise you that. You gotta keep your money together. You shouldn't waste your money on, I don't know, all those fake brands, where the quality is not even the best. Now, everybody, I told you before, I'm a millionaire, but not a billionaire, and that is the next goal. The next goal is to become a billionaire, the biggest billionaire. I mean, the biggest billionaire that has ever been on the planet. How to become a billionaire? How to become a millionaire? You need to serve your audience. You need to serve people. You need to see problems and serve that problem. You cannot sit on your hands and waiting in front of a television that a miracle is going to step just around the corner. What you need to do is simply you need to start to read books. It's very, very crucial. Every billionaire has written a book. Every billionaire has written a book. It has been written a book about every billionaire. It has been written a book about, for example, Mr. Donald Trump. It has been written a book about Bill Gates. It has been written a book about Mr. Warren Buffett. You feel me? So every billionaire, every billionaire has a book out there. So study every billionaire. I tell you, every billionaire. Start like, for example, with the second richest man on the planet, Mr. Warren Buffett. He is the second richest man on the planet, so he is he's kind of like that sort of a character. If you have a single dollar, do not waste that single dollar. Keep that single dollar for the rest of your life, of your life on planet Earth. So, do you understand why he is the second richest man on the planet? You do not see him walking around with a big expensive suit or big expensive brands or big expensive car. For sure he got a private jet. But he bought that sort of a jet when he was a billionaire already. So that is a complete different game. If you say you earn monthly, like, I don't know, let's say $5,000 monthly, and you are unable to keep that sort of $5,000 monthly, I'm telling you, you are financially broke in the future. If you go to Prada, Versace, I don't know what kind of brands, so you need to understand, your money has to, for very first, you have to work hard for the money, and the money has to work extra hard for yourself to create a certain kind of an income. Now, everybody, how to become the biggest billionaire of all time? Hold on, my telephone is ringing. Okay, maybe you hear something. My telephone is right now ringing. I need to make a break. See you soon. Well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in again, and thank you very much. My telephone was just ringing, and now I'm back again. You need to understand that Warren Buffett himself, he himself, there are two simple rules to become the biggest, richest man on the planet. So financially, for very first, do not waste a single coin. And rule number two, care when it comes to rule number one. That's basically all you need to know. For very first, it requires a dedication. You need to dedicate yourself to beauty, to financial beauty. You gotta love the single coin, the single dollar. You gotta be in love with that sort of very single dollar, with that sort of very single coin. Otherwise, if you do not love your money, it's like, I'm gonna give you an example. It's like you see a beautiful woman, for example. It's like telling her, well, I don't like you, so I'm gonna give you away. So that is what I mean. You wanna keep that beautiful girl. You're gonna do everything to keep that beautiful girl, so that's sort of a beautiful chick. But if you do not have that sort of inner stability, that sort of inner stability in sense of, I'm going to keep every single coin I make. I'm gonna keep it for the rest of my entire life. So you're not gonna succeed the game. So basically, if you add everything together, you add everything together, you gotta work extra hard. You gotta change the man in the mirror, watch your reflection and point at yourself. You are in charge of your apartment. You are in charge of your inner stability. You are in charge of your financial situation, not your neighbor, not your mother, not your grandmother, not your enemies, not your, I don't know, whoever, so only that individual in the reflection is in charge of his destiny. It is that simple, that simple to understand. So what I want you to do is for very first clean up your apartment. That is very, very crucial. Additionally, do not watch all the time YouTube, like in an endless endlessly, like, for example, you return home from work on a Friday. You turn on you switch on your computer immediately, so you start to watch Netflix, for example. Then you go to YouTube, like, so all of a sudden, like, it's Sunday, for example, and you still in your bed, basically, or wherever, but basically in front of a computer. So you yourself, you need to change. You yourself, you gotta change. You gotta change that situation immediately. That situation where you are in right now. That sort of a daily routine pattern that brings you no places than big time trouble. That brings you no places than big time trouble. It's that simple. The situation, your old pattern, returning home, maybe going to the toilet, to the restroom, then switching on then to your computer to switch on the computer, so it brings you to no places then in that sort of a pattern where you are right now, the pattern of broke ass people. That is the reason why you are broke. So how to change that sort of pattern? I'm gonna give you an advice. For very first, when you return home, maybe go to the toilet, but start immediately. I mean, really immediately. Not to switch on your computer. Start immediately to do sport. I do 8 times a day sport every day. 8 times a day sport. 8 times a day I go out for a run. Every day I go out for a run. So what I want you to do is like start immediately with sport. After that, if you finish your sport exercises, I want you to clean up your apartment immediately after sport. Do not switch on your computer. And then you start to read a book. I tell you, start to read, for example, for very first 10 pages in a book. 10 pages. Then switch on the computer and check your emails. Only, write it down on paper. What do you want to do on your computer? Write down, I want to check my emails. I want to watch the news on CNN, for example. I want to do, I don't know, a Skype conversation with my friend, for example, so, and if you write down what you want to do on your computer. If you finish all that, you turn off your computer immediately, and then you start to read again your book, like, so you need to read every single day, every single day, between 50 to 100 pages a book. I'm telling you, better 100 pages, but it depends what kind of a book it is, really. But in general, between 50 to 100 pages a day. That is very crucial. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it. Now everybody, so that is the journey to become very, very, very successful. I told you what my biography really was back in those days, so I'm a millionaire, not yet a billionaire, but I'm gonna develop myself into that sort of a $1 billion status, you feel me? I want you to join me, to follow me on Instagram, follow the link below, and subscribe to my channel. See me as your servant. So what I gonna do today? So I already did like 4 times a day sports. So, but I told you like I wanna do every single day, 8 times a day sport, every single day, eight times a day sport. So additionally, I need to do four times sport still, and I started to read a little bit, so I need to read at least between 50 to 100 pages. And additionally, I'm gonna clean up my apartment. I'm gonna be really, really, really honest with you. If I mess up the situation, if I mess up one single day, I'm gonna be really, really, really honest to you. I'm gonna tell you immediately. Well, today, whatever, I was really lazy or whatever. So see you soon, everybody. And of course, I'm gonna report my journey. I already start. I already did a start, so, but what I gonna do right now, I gonna consider that as the very first day where I gonna, just for my audience, this is clip number one for today we have the 3rd of July, 2018, 3rd of July 2018. So please do me that sort of a favor. If you have any sort of a questions regarding whatever it is, to do me that sort of a little tiny favor immediately. Just tell me immediately what the problem really is. The problem is only the man in the reflection. I'm gonna repeat it again. The man in the mirror is a problem. Not your neighbor, not your father, not your enemies, not your, I don't know, your father-in-law, your stepfather, the angry stepmother. So it's only the man in the mirror is about to change if he's willing to change. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm gonna report everything. Promise me. I'm gonna promise that is the first day, but so I already started a long time ago. But just for my audience to serve my audience, that you're gonna see every single day. I'm gonna make a change. Every single day, I'm gonna remain that sort of pattern. Every day, 8 times a day sport. Every day, I'm gonna read 50 pages in a book. Every day I'm gonna clean up my apartment. Every day I'm gonna go out for a run and I'm gonna report this. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out.